Hi, I'm Sam Amolo. Welcome to my hobby garage build out. Well, you know, maybe you're going to build a garage, or you're going to build out an existing garage, or maybe you're going to renovate an old shop. I think you'll find a lot of great information in our video. This building behind me is a building I acquired when we bought some land. It's very well constructed, but it was totally raw inside. In fact, it didn't even have electricity. This building is perfect for a shop. It's about 1,300 square feet. It sits on a block foundation with block walls extending up 2 feet in the front and rising to 5 feet in the rear as the grade slopes up. This thing's also tall inside. It's 20 feet to the ridgepole. Well, that's perfect for a lift. Now, the exterior trim needs some replacing, and the entire building needs a coat of paint, but that's something we'll handle down the road. Obviously, to do any work, we need electricity, so that's the first thing we tackled. Let's go inside and see how this project is going along. As you can see, I've already started working in here, but I decided to stop, commit this to video. That way you'd have all of these tips for your garage project. The first thing I did was sit down with my clipboard, I looked around, and I started planning. And planning is really important. First thing I did was, I made a rough sketch, and you can see by this paper, I did a lot of work off this. Got my dimensions, how much plywood I was going to need to cover the walls, what kind of insulation I was going to need, where to hang the lights, and of course, where the outlets were going. Now, what I did was I took it home, got some graph paper. All you need is a ruler and a protractor. You don't need to be a draftsman, and you can make yourself some drawings. This kind of planning will make your job turn out a lot better. Now let's take a look at the power. This is a 200 amp panel. It was here when I got here. It was hooked to the house next door, not good. So to bring power in, first thing I had to do was draw a permit from the county. Okay, in my county, in order to get the power company to bring power into it, you have to have your place all wired according to code, and you have to pass electrical inspection. Now, this is a lot of electricity. It's nothing to mess with if you're not qualified. So get the services of a qualified electrician. I've got the cover off this panel, and you know, they should always be covered up, but I wanted to show you a few things. You can see the heavy wires coming in, go to the main circuit breakers. That's all according to code. And of course, we had to add this conduit to bring the wire in from the masthead. The next thing is, you can see it's nice and neat in there. Good electrician will do that. And size your circuits properly. For example, the outlets all around here are 20 amp, not 15, and they're GFCI or ground fault, and that's by code. I also used a 12-2 wire for that. That's a step up from your 14-2 you'll find in a house. I also used some 10-3 wire, which is strung around here. That's orange wire. And of course, what I've got there is I've got outlets for compressors and welders. Now, there was already an existing set of circuits here, which we used. These are 50 amp circuits, have very heavy wire, and probably 8 gauge. One of those is for the compressor, and the other is for heavy welder. Make sure you size the wire for the length of the run and the load it's going to carry. All right, we're outside here with the meter. This is what we installed in this meter panel. Of course, it has the conduit goes up to the masthead, and that's where the power company can hook up once they get approval. What we brought in here covers my needs. It's 200 amp service, 240 volts. Now, this is the time to make the selection before the power comes in. Get it right. If you're running heavy equipment or a spray booth, maybe you need 3-phase power, maybe you need more than 200 amps. Now's the time to do it right. This mezzanine was here, and it's a great way to save floor space. I didn't have any access to it. The guy was going up and down on a ladder, but I hung these nice folding stairs. Let's take a look. I just love the way this mezzanine eliminates all the floor clutter, gives you plenty of storage space, good use of space. There's 500 square feet up here. Now, I think you can get a good perspective on just how tall this building is. It's a perfect shop. We're on the mezzanine. We're 10 feet off the ground, and these rafters run all the way up here. You can see the ridgepole. It's 20 feet inside, got plenty of headroom. You also can see I put lights everywhere, and you know, I did this on the cheap. They're used lights, got them out of basements, I rebuilt them. You can see all of the conductors we pulled here. We have separate circuits for everything. In fact, in this building, we pulled well over 1,000 feet of wire. If you look right up here at this heavy orange wire, that's a 3-wire conductor. It's got 3 conductors in it, plus the ground. That's already tied into the circuit breaker panel. It terminates at a junction box on a rafter. That's for a lift. When I bring the lift in, I don't have to call the electrician back. Just a matter of hooking right up, and we're ready to go. Now, once your insulation is in, and you're going to cover the walls, I personally like plywood. Plywood, when it's screwed to the studs, adds a lot of strength to the wall, gives you plenty of places to hang things on. I think it's much better than sheetrock. Welcome back. You can see we've made a lot of progress here. Now we started this project somewhere around late winter. It's now mid-spring, all the trees are in bloom, it's really pretty here. I've got all the insulation done, all the plywood's on the walls, 2 coats of primer, 2 coats of paint. Did most of it myself, a little bit of help from friends. Place is looking real good, it's bright, it's a great airy place to work in.